Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Go Politics. It is my hope that you are fine. I'm also okay. Now, there is this rating debate whether Rigathi Gachagua will be on the ballot or if he's going to be a kingmaker. By kingmaker, I mean whether he's going to be the one to decide who becomes president. The people who say Rigathi the Sixth are persuaded that the courts will revoke his impeachment, thereby making him suitable to run for a public office. But there are others who are also persuaded that it is impossible for Rigathi Gachagua to be unimpeached, that the impeachment was final, and as such, he suffers the fate of other impeached leaders, meaning they can't vie for public office in the foreseeable future. So, in this video, I just want to go with he is not on the ballot. Can he be a kingmaker? If that is something you're interested in, continue watching. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, take a moment, subscribe, so that you're notified whenever we produce videos of this nature. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move into can Rigathi be a kingmaker, one of you asked how comes Rigathi is impeached and he is a party leader. Now, you should know the party officials that are with the registrar of society is what matters. In most cases, the list of party officials is so different from what you see outside here. For instance, positions like party leader, positions like deputy party leader are not official positions in a political party. So in a party, because it is just registered the same way you register societies, it will have a chairperson, it will have a vice chair, it will have a secretary general, it will have maybe a deputy secretary general, then it will have a treasurer and a deputy treasurer, and then maybe the organizing secretary. That is usually the composition of party leadership at the registrar. When you register, those are the names that you must submit. And Rigathi Gachagua, I can tell you, could not submit his name as one of those leaders. Because even though he has appealed his impeachment, he still stands impeached until the court rules otherwise. So Rigathi Gachagua, by declaring himself party leader, these are not official per se. There are no places where they sign as party leader. Official documents are not signed as by party leaders. It's mostly secretary of the party or the chairperson. And that is neither Rigathi nor any of the politicians that work with him. That was just a question a friend asked, and I thought that since we are doing a video about Rigathi being the kingmaker, and some people also saying that he would vie, it was important that I also shared what my take is on that. I could be wrong though. Back to our main discussion. Can Rigathi Gachagua be the kingmaker? Rigathi Gachagua currently controls the Mount Kenya votes. Not all. Actually, he has one problem. The leaders have rejected him. But the masses look like they are agreeable to Rigathi Gachagua. And for the reason I shared with you, not because of their love for him, but because he's speaking their voice, is echoing their concerns. I told you that Mount Kenya rebelled with William Ruto because he brought Raila Odinga into government. And this is something that our leaders allied to Rigathi have not shied away from. You remember Wamaua was saying that imagine he's bringing Raila in government and giving him position. So this is something that Mount Kenya people didn't take lightly, and they walked out. And Rigathi saw an opportunity to be the kingpin, and the rest is history. Today, he has the most serious voice in the region. When he said that they should not go to the street, you've seen the independent, the leaderless, the non-political Gen Zs are no longer planning street protests. So he has that influence. We have to give it to him. Like I said, this is raw politics. So you don't run away from reality because it doesn't please you or it is not something you want. Rigathi Gachagua, as of this time, has serious sway in Mount Kenya, and they support him. So the question is, with that support, is it enough for him to make somebody president? I want to tell you that unfortunately, no. Now, I know there are people who say that every video I make is anti-Rigathi. No, this is not anti-him. This is just telling you what the reality of Kenya's politics is. If Rigathi Gachagua were to endorse Matiang'i, for instance, Matiang'i would still need the Luo vote or the influence of Raila Odinga to win elections. If he endorsed Kalonzo, it is the same thing. So Mount Kenya and Kamba vote alone, even if you went by the 2022 figures, is not enough to compete with the combined force of Raila Odinga and William Ruto. That is why I did a video sharing with you why Raila Odinga is the 2027 kingmaker should he not vie. If he doesn't vie, he will decide. Because my theory has always been Kenya presidential election is like a three-legged stool. And two communities must support you for you to win the presidency. The communities that are involved here, Luos, Kikuyus, and Kalenjins. Today, the Kalenjins are with Ruto, the Kikuyus are with Rigathi, and the Luos are with Raila, but it is said that Raila Odinga is likely to endorse William Ruto, which means if these two come together, they will win the presidency. The only scenario where Rigathi Gachagua becomes a kingmaker is if Raila Odinga decides to vie and Rigathi Gachagua endorses him. In that case, Rigathi Gachagua will be the kingmaker because in that case, Raila Odinga will win that election. Two, the second scenario is if Raila Odinga, meaning the Luos, decides to endorse Matiang'i or Kalonzo, and Rigathi Gachagua chooses to join them. If he's the one joining the group, then in that case, he will be a kingmaker. Otherwise, from the look of things today, the way the politics of our country is, as of the time of producing this video, Rigathi Gachagua cannot be the 2027 kingmaker. Because if Ruto stays with Raila, it doesn't matter who Rigathi and Mount Kenya supports, they will not win that election. I shared with you a breakdown of Raila's influence. That even if you went with the 2022 figures, a combined force of Rigathi and Kalonzo is no match to a combined force of William Ruto and Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga minus Kamba, Kisii, and Kikuyus got 4.9 million votes. William Ruto minus the Kikuyu votes got 4.2 million votes. That alone is about 9 million votes. If you took the Mount Kenya votes of 2022 and added it to the Ukambani and the Kisii votes, they don't compete because Mount Kenya gave Ruto 3 million, gave Raila Odinga 800,000. So let's say that is 3.8 million. Ukambani gave Raila Odinga about 700,000. Let's say they gave William Ruto about 100,000. So just give them 800,000. Or even just say Kamba votes were 1 million votes. That is 4.8 million. Give Kisii. Kisii gave Raila Odinga about 300,000. So let's say they also gave Ruto maybe 100,000. Give them 500,000, the Kisii votes. That would be 4.8 million, add 500,000, that will be 5.3 million. Still way below a combined force of Raila Odinga and William Ruto, which is at 9 million. So that is why I'm telling you that in the end, Rigathi and Kalonzo and Matiang'i are not a match. And that means Rigathi cannot be a kingmaker. He cannot decide who becomes president. Mount Kenya votes can only decide who becomes president when Raila Odinga decides that he's backing a different candidate. And William Ruto is also on the ballot. That way, Rigathi can decide, I am supporting Raila Odinga, or Rigathi can say, I am going back to support William Ruto. So whoever he will support, if Raila Odinga is having his candidate or Raila Odinga is on the ballot and William Ruto is on the ballot, then Rigathi Gachagua will decide who becomes president between them. Even if Raila Odinga is not on the ballot, but is supporting somebody other than William Ruto, then Rigathi Gachagua's votes, that is the Mount Kenya votes, will decide who becomes president. So that is when he is a kingmaker. If we were to answer the question, can Rigathi Gachagua be the kingmaker come 2027? The answer is no. If things remain the same till 2027, Rigathi Gachagua is not a kingmaker. But if things were to change, the answer then changes to yes, Rigathi Gachagua can be a kingmaker because Raila Odinga and William Ruto will need his support. I hope that made sense, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please take a moment, subscribe, like the video, share this video with friends. And if you want to know why I'm persuaded Raila Odinga is the 2027 kingmaker, watch this video.